Hello. Good to see you.
Alright there, Revenants. Welcome back to Code Vein, and today we have the mini-boss analysis for the Grime Mass. That's what this thing is called. It's this little yellow sand, little bug dude. It is the Pokemon of choice here. And so there is a poison variant of this, which you find in the very first level of the game. However, there is no difference between this one and that one. The only difference being that that one does poison damage and this one does leak damage. So whenever they shoot their little balls of debuff at you, it will do damage and it will also do the debuff of choice, whether it's purple for poison and whether it's brown for the leak variant. So those are the two variants of the Grime Mass here in the game. They should have just called it Grimer, but I understand why they didn't. But it is literally Grimer, and it has the name Grime in the name, and that makes it kind of hilarious to me that they couldn't think of anything else other than Pokemon, which is fine with me. Okay, so for the analysis of these little guys, they resist this weapon right here. They resist Crush by 25%, so they have a plus 25% Crush resist, and they have a 0% resist to Slash. I love the gun on there. And they also have a 0% resist to Pierce. So Slash and Pierce are your go-to weapon types against these things, and you can pick from any kind of Slash or Pierce gifts as well, and they will do very nicely. Now, with these guys, you can pretty much choose whatever you want except Crush. Just don't do Crush, and you should be fine. So any kind of Slash or Pierce at 0% resist, and so that means also that Merciless Reaper does absolutely 0 for you against these mucks or Grimers or whatever they are. So if we go in here, now the run back for these things is absolutely awful. So there's 713, and there's 713 as well. So these things are, oh, okay, these things, get me out of here. These things are absolutely not worth a whole lot of damage attacks and such, because they are kind of at a neutral void zone of damage resistance, and so you kind of just pick whatever you want and go, because of all of their 0% resists. Now also for the elements, they have a 0% resist across the board, so it doesn't matter which element you pick, they do not resist any one of these. Blood, fire, ice, lightning, all 0% resist. So here you have tons and tons and tons of options. You can do Flash, Pierce, Blood, Ice, Fire, Lightning, and you can pick any of those, and you will get no damage reduction. So it's really great that you can pair up with a whole bunch of different gifts here to make sure that you are getting max damage possible. So this is one enemy in the game where if you pair up all of the elements, you will get literally a straight 80% increase to your damage. However, that's 20 Ichor for 80% increase. So if you have a very high damage weapon, it would be worth it. If you have a very low damage weapon, it would not be worth it. So keep that in mind. As you saw, they crawl around and they have a little tongue attack, which swipes out at you, and then they have the little purge ball attack that they poop out at you. And so as far as status debuff effects go, they are weak to Venom. You can poison these brown ones very much. They are very susceptible to poison. And then you can also slow these guys. So Venom and slow, and you cannot inhibit them and you cannot stun them. The same goes for the purple ones, and so those guys are only susceptible to slow. So keep that in mind if you go after these fellas. Now poison is extra good versus these guys because at max difficulty they have 14,267 HP, and at minimum difficulty they have 5,367 HP. So they are very, very, very weak creatures overall, and if you know that they are very, very weak to something certain, then you can run in with some of these blade weapons or blade gifts like this. And remember, it doesn't matter which gift you go for, because they will be susceptible to it as is. So if we go for something like this, and we just run in here with, you know, almost 2,000, and then we'll have almost 3,000 on Dark Shout. And so if we run in here, and these are the two that you want to fight, and you can see there 10,736 absolutely crazy amounts of damage that you can get out of these gifts here, pairing up with these things, and you can slash them down very, 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 very fast. And so it's really, really great that it doesn't matter what element you use, and it almost doesn't even matter what kind of weapon damage type that you use, whether it be slash or pierce. So here we were doing slash, and if we were going for something on pierce, something like this with Hoarfrost Stream, we're able to literally destroy these things in one gift, which is pretty awesome. Now, their run back here is absolutely horrible. It's a very, very, very tedious a very, very tedious run back, all things considered. And you do not want to be going for that run back by any means, because it is very, 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 very tedious. Okay, so we pick these fellas up, and as you see, they do have more HP than the little surrounding grime masses that are crawling around on the ground around them. And it's because these guys are boss flavors and boss variants. We're talking about the mini boss version here. We are not talking about the regular enemies as you find them in the game, in the different areas. However, their HPs are just simply lesser versions of the boss variants. Okay, so let's go for this again, and we'll see this here in action. And there they go, 18,000. So that is more than the 14,000 necessary in order to kill these guys, and so you're able to wipe out the entire room in one shot go, which is very, very awesome. Even though most of you will never see these Grimers, because they are here in the Rocky Ruins on the left path here, the West Pass. And this run back is very, very awful to try and make it through here quickly and easily. Lightning Charge is definitely a very, very good way to go through here, because there's so many twists and turns and enemies that are interested in hurting you. But typically the Rocky Ruins is not something that most everyone will be venturing into all the time, and so you have the luxury of avoiding these fellas if you want to. So the grime masses, they definitely are not any kind of threat anytime you see them, as long as you know how to tackle their situation. And the way to tackle it, again, is slash and literally anything else that you want to do except inhibit and except stun. No stun, no inhibit, and literally you can pretty much pick anything else that you want to go for, and these fellas will disintegrate right in front of your eyes. So anyways, these things, like I said, you find them in the Crown of Sand and here in the Rocky Ruins, and they really don't pose much of a threat at all. Yeah, however, if you do get leaked on and you get surrounded by large groups of them, there is a place in the Crown of Sand that is exceptionally awful right before this missile here at the Sunken Ruins. I'll show you that, and you can get super surrounded, and you can go down very, very, very easily if you are not paying attention to what's actually happening. This is one of the kind of few areas in the game where there's like a booby trap kind of room for these guys, and you can get overwhelmed by these guys very, very, very quickly if you are not paying attention and if you are not careful. And it is right here. There is a regeneration factor here in the middle of the room. And so if you get here to the middle, you can see how many grind masses there are here. And so these things, if you go around the outside, you can see that there are even more of them, and you can get leaked very, very easily, very, very quickly, and you can have some serious problems here if you are not careful. So if we do this though, and then we go for this, you can see that you can wipe everything out very, very quickly with Hoarfrost Stream, and everything dies instantaneously. That is the way that you want to deal with them. If you have the DLC, that is a great way to deal with it. If you don't have that, you can go for Queen's Ribcage with Twilight, and that works just as equally effectively well because it is Pierce and it is Lightning, and since they have no resist to any of the elements, you can pick at your heart's desire how you want to dispatch of these Lost in particular. Okay, so thank you all for watching. That'll conclude here for the mini-boss analysis of the Grime Mass, and we'll see you tomorrow for another ridiculous mini-boss in the game. See you then. Thanks for watching.